Hi, I'm Stephanie Sutton. This is Robby, Lutfy, and tonight we are really excited to show you guys something brand new for us. Thank you for being here. This performance is the first installment of a much larger durational piece we started together at a residency after our residency here. We went to the Rinsing Center. We began with the question when we started working, can we create secular rituals of healing using a religious template? The footage you'll see is from the initial performance using a 200-year-old baptism site in South Carolina and the community that calls that land sacred. Tonight, our first participant is Kassie, who has contributed her experience in her words. We've had one rehearsal.
Here's a prayer. Let's do it one line at a time. I'll say it and then repeat. I'm so happy and grateful that.
I'm so happy and grateful that.
I am now ready to surrender fully.
I am now ready to surrender fully.
I pray that any cynicism is removed.
I pray that any cynicism is removed.
Anything that stands in the way of this day and the rituals contained.
Anything that stands in the way of this day and the rituals contained.
Grant me strength in this vulnerability.
Grant me strength in this vulnerability.
I will be myself.
I will be myself.
I will respond how I feel.
I will respond how I feel.
Awkward, vulgar, and ugly.
Awkward, vulgar, and ugly.
I will have my heart open.
I will have my heart open.
I will have my throat open.
I will have my throat open.
I am not perfect.
I am not perfect.
I will go at my own pace.
I will go at my own pace.
The best and most human parts of me are those that I have hidden.
The best and most human parts of me are those that I have hidden.
I will not judge
I will not judge
myself or others.
myself or others.
I will have grace for myself.
I will have grace for myself.
I will trust.
Trust.
I will let go.
Hello, I'm Kassie. Robby and Stephanie asked me to do what Mormons would call bearing your testimony. I'm not an eloquent speaker. I'm not a public speaker at all, so please forgive me, I'll stutter. And anyway, this is my favorite. I grew up in the LDS religion, otherwise known as Mormonism. If you have religious trauma, you might share the uncomfortable experience I have around rituals. Even the prayer that Stephanie and I just repeated, though moving and beautiful, was deeply unsettling to me. It recalls back to a time when I felt my autonomy was minimized, a small role in a collective without individuality. Many of the Mormon rituals were created to state the questions and criticisms of its members, of which I had an overabundance. The more I inquired, the more I was shut down. I was told over and over that God works in mysterious ways, and all will be revealed in due time. If you lack wisdom, pray, and the answers will be given to you, as long as you're worthy. So I threw myself into fanatical orthodoxy. I thought that if I became the best Mormon, adhering to even the strictest of practices, following every ritual and doctrine, surrendering every facet of my life to my religion, I would receive answers to all of those pesky curiosities. I did eventually receive answers, which led me to leading the church. Having undergone the pendulum swing from deeply religious experiences to absolute atheism. I find the topic of rituals to be very complicated. When your friends and neighbors participate with you in a ritual, it becomes bigger than you. To repeat a phrase or action again and again transforms a nebulous concept into unwavering fact. In this way, repetition removes rumination. There is no room to ask questions. There is only your body responding outside of yourself. It is raw, it is vulnerable, it is terrifying. And it can heal the parts of you that might often feel these latent emotions. Feelings of anxiety, remorse, inadequacy, and isolation, just oohing at the surface of the subconscious, needing only permission to be released into the physical world. Rituals can give that permission. This is why ritualistic washing, both religious and secular, has served humanity for thousands of years. The fundamental themes of cleansing, purification, surrender, and transformation are given tangibility. Baptism may serve as the induction into a community, as well as its genealogists, with generation after generation being brought together, making the passage of time and serving as the record keeper for the experiences of our ancestors. The practice of baptism by proxy is second nature to a Mormon. It might even make logical sense, if you follow. Think of all the souls that were not baptized before they were passed. You have the ability to save them. Using your earthly vessel to be baptized for and on behalf of those that have passed into the spirit world, you have freedom from purgatory. You're a hero. You suddenly have power and purpose, feelings you might not experience in your normal life. There are some religions that recognize that power as a ritual and use it to prey on those that are vulnerable. This is why I believe adolescents of the Mormon Church are required to undergo a worthiness interview before performing baptisms for the dead. 12-year-olds being asked by a grown man in his 50s questions about their financial, eating, and sexual habits. In these interviews, the youth learn quickly that there is a correct way to live your life, and any other way brings shame and humiliation. You learn to submit to ideologies that might go against your personal morals. This is the other side of baptism that is not often spoken, the roles of power and submission. When one comes together with her community to be baptized, she must face the shame and agony of admitting she is not perfect. She has made mistakes and wants to be renewed. To do this, she must surrender. What is usually left unspoken is that when one surrenders, there is another that absorbs that relinquished power. In this way, the Baptist and the baptized may become the pawns of dominance and submission. From both a religious and secular standpoint, it can be a tool for controlling a group of people. However, it can also be used as a tool to unearth a relationship with power, buried under layers of complicated experiences and emotions. That being said, there is a certain level of trust between the participants of a ritualistic cleansing. A uniquely vulnerable connection is formed, one who admits faults and seeks forgiveness, the other who accepts and forgives. Both let go of preconceptions and welcome the promise of regeneration.
Yes.